Yeah, another Monday. Sunrise, bleeding through the blinds. Phone's already glowing. Same game, different day, but the fear's still growing. Yeah, another Max lost Monday. Watch the blood red candles fall. Swear I see the devil grinning, waiting for my call. Pop a pill to kill the pain, but the numbers on the screen. Burning holes inside my soul, you know just what I mean. This ain't no dip, it's a damn grave I'm digging with these trades. Another Monday, another prayer that slowly starts to fade. Woke up pre-market looking sweet, a little touch of green. Told myself this is the one, a whole new hopeful scene. Shorted puts, I'm feeling slick, a genius in the making. Then the bell rings in my world, it just starts shaking. Spike up, no reason why, just algorithms running wild. Heartbeat thumps, a panic drum, I'm screaming like a child. Inside my head, of course, outside I'm cool and calm. But I just lost another rack before I finished my first song. Another Max lost Monday, watch the blood red candles fall. Swear I see the devil grinning, waiting for my call. Pop a pill to kill the pain, but the numbers on the screen. Burning holes inside my soul, you know just what I mean. This ain't no dip, it's a damn grave I'm digging with these trades. Another Monday, another prayer that slowly starts to fade. They say stick to your plan, control what you can lose. But every Monday feels the same, paying the same damn dues. I see the chart, I know the play, but the market's got a curse. And every time I bet against it, things just getting worse. I'm addicted to the pain, the rush, the self-hate. A masochist with a brokerage account, stealing my own fate. They'll say I'm gambling, but I'm fighting for a dream, while I'm drowning in the crimson of a Monday market stream. Is there a lesson here I'm missing? Or am I just another fool who doesn't listen to the whispers in the wind, the writing on the wall, that every single Monday I'm destined to just fall and fall and fall. Max lost Monday. Yeah, Max lost Monday. Till next week, same time, same station. Damn. Damn. Damn.
Yeah, my stop loss, got it, that's the top tick tilter. Saw the price reject, now my heart's getting colder. Watched it fall without me, yeah, soldier with no prize. I see red on the candle and red in my eyes, yeah. Top tick tilter, fill me at the high. Now I'm popping nothing, sitting on the side. Should've been a million, now it's just a ghost. The market played me dirty, yeah, it hurt the most. Woke up this morning, saw the setup, it was clean. Overextended daily, yeah, short seller's dream. Put my order on the book, risk was calculated plan. Felt that rush inside my veins, had the world inside my hand. Then the candle started pushing, paranoia in my soul. A wick came out of nowhere, made my P&L a hole. Just one single tick, a whisper, then it slammed right back to earth. Now I'm watching all this money, questioning my worth. Yeah, my stop loss got hit, that's a top tick tilter. Saw the price reject, now my heart's getting colder. Watched it fall without me, yeah, soldier with no prize. I see red on the candle and red red in my eyes, yeah. Top tick till to fill me at the high. Now I'm popping nothing, sitting on the side. Should've been a million, now it's just a ghost. The market played me dirty, yeah, it hurt the most. It's a cruel world, it's trading game, a different type of pain. Like you text your girl, I love you, and she leaves you in the rain. Saw the profit flash before me, then it vanished from the screen. This ain't a simulation, this is agony, it's keen. Top tick tilter, now I'm just a watcher. It hurts the most. Gone.
Sunrise paints the screen in shades of hope and dread. Got my coffee brewing, got a plan inside my head. The chart was looking pretty, a picture of a dream. A long, slow climb up a golden flowing stream. I saddled up my capital, my finger on the mouse. Felt like the only quiet soul in a loud and crowded house. Set my stop loss carefully, a line drawn in the sand. The most faithful partner in this God-forsaken land. But a shadow fell at 10:03 so fast I couldn't see. A long-legged liar, a ghost in the machine. It shot straight down for my last dime, put my courage to the test, then vanished in the dust of the wild Wicked West. It kicked me from the saddle, and before I hit the ground, that price was climbing north again without a single sound. I watched it go without me, a green and lonely tear, tracking all the profits that I should have had this year. It's like seeing your own train pull right on out of sight after some fast-talking outlaw pushed you in the night. He didn't take my wallet, just my entry and my nerve. Served me up a lesson that I probably don't deserve. 'Cause I did my homework, Lord, I read every single sign. That wick just came from me, and it knew the stop was mine. 'Cause a shadow fell at 10:03 so fast I couldn't see. A long-legged liar, a ghost in the machine. It shot straight down from my last dime, put my courage to the test, then vanished in the dust of the wild Wicked West. It kicked me from the saddle, and before I hit the ground, that price was climbing north again without a single sound. They say the trend's your friend till the algos disagree. They're quicker on the draw than a man like you or me. It ain't a game of poker, it ain't a game of skill. It's just standing in a stampede on a downhill slope until
Well, cheers, gentlemen. Oh, I feel like my accent started changing after listening to that song. We got Fades in the building tonight, guys. He's been an integral asset, part of the green team. I'm so excited for this one. I told Fades before we went on, I'm not as prepared because we're just going to hang out and chat and talk and go over charts. And Fades is funded, so he's got some stuff for us to review. But thank you for doing this, Fades. I appreciate you, and you're such a asset to the green team. So I'm sure the guys are excited to hear from you.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been fun ever since I started trading with you, and just getting in chat, hanging out. And we really help each other out. Like I said, like we sharpen each other up, and it's great, man.
We trade so similarly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every day, like you'll text me the gainers that we're looking at for hangovers. I mean, we're always looking pretty much at the same stocks, except this week there's just been too much to look at. So that's why we've been, helping each other out more. And then go for it.
Yeah, this week it's all about just figuring out the condition of the market, man. I mean, we have to be very reactive, like we talked about, because it's just at any given day, the market can flip. Like the past few days, the pump and dumps have been great, but like a week or two ago, like a lot of shorts got blown out, myself included. You get over this, man, and it's just that loss gets away from you, bro. Brutal.
Yeah, I think we spoke on the ebbs and flows of that. I'm like, man, these buy high, hope higher traders, it's not going to last forever. Yeah, we're taking some losses now, but we're managing risk well. And as soon as we get some of these like AIHS and then the PAPL, some of the team caught today, it's like, we get to ride those bad boys on down. I saw MG had a really good week too this week. It was a great week. I mean, I probably was green every day. I haven't looked at it too much, but you too? I mean, great week.
Yeah, hangovers were working out. Today or this week, I got aggressive with my quantities of positions, but not my size of position because there was so much going on. So, like the past couple of days, I was in like 5 or 6 shorts, like we talk about, but just stabbing with established risk. And for me, that's about 50 or 100 a trade. I'm trade pretty aggressive. So I'm, in 5 or 6 tickers with like a $50 risk. And with our edge, the way we trade and the way we look at charts and stuff, more oftentimes than not, one of those is probably going to knife and just fall apart. And half of them will probably fade. So, as long as you're not in too big, like we talk about, it's just, and that's really just comes with experience, like on what ticker we're dealing with, like a soggy Peter or,
Soggy. We need soggy P shirts.
Yeah.
The soggy P.
I got my she's needy. She wants to say hey to the stream.
Yeah, I heard her. Yeah, she's
I heard you were talking about your cats earlier.
Yes. That's a sore topic. Probably not as disciplined as yours. Soggy Peter has not wanted to quit, as Perfect False said, but you've been like you're what you were doing earlier today really hit home with me because I'd noticed you were sizing dynamically across the board based on the different hands. And that's something in the call earlier, if James is in here, something I was talking about with him earlier too. That's going to come with experience because that is certainly like a more advanced thing to do. That is for more experienced traders. Like, which hands are better than the others and where to apply more risk. It's not random. I mean, you're applying risk to the better setup. So talk us through that a little bit.
Oh man. Yeah. That's so key. Like understanding, and that's where sizing comes in, jumping in too deep, too quick. And I think a lot of traders make that mistake, myself included, or, getting over biased. You get over biased on the wrong day. Like, we saw it's just crazy. The market's been so rational. Like these stocks come out with offerings and stuff and they just go parabolic and run for days. So it's like respecting price action and being reactive. Like, don't think you have a pocket aces when the market is not. Like, you really don't have pocket aces. Like, you got like a 4 or 5. It's like risking too much. So I really love that analogy, bro, because it's so true. Like, so just understanding the market conditions and how the stock is reacting. and just giving it some time and scaling in like we talk about, depending on how it's acting.
Yeah, yeah, the scaling versus adding, certainly a huge difference there, but yeah, it's what's interesting with that for the newer trader with knowing what's a pocket ace and what's not is
Hmm.
this is what James and I were talking about earlier too, is he was getting oversized on plays like after he took an initial loss, and
Yeah.
that's just not knowing, and really it's emotionally like getting involved. You're oversizing your next trade, and we're all guilty of this at a certain degree, right? Like you dig yourself a hole early in the day. For some
Right.
reason, this has been my trend. I think today and yesterday, I'm like, I thought about changing the channel name to Red to Green Trader because I do this so much. But yeah, it's like starting in the hole, but really trying to stay level headed. Don't you oftentimes
Mhm.
you're yeah, so you're trying to make sure you still have emotions, guys. Like I mean, I'm in this for a while. You've been in this for a while. Like, there's still emotions present. I think the difference is you just know what the emotions are saying. Like, when I
Yeah.
feel the emotions boiling up, I know what they're telling me. They're telling me to revenge trade, and I've been here before, and I know the pain I
Right.
experienced, so I know how to react to it better, right?
Yeah, and that's the toughest thing I feel like is maintaining your emotions, like,
Hmm.
and knowing at what point you go on tilt, being able to shut it off, because I think that's the hardest part. Like, I mean, even for myself, I've been trading for so long, and I can have really good green days, but it's just sometimes I just have those outlier red days where the market is not working, and I have to shut it off. And so that's what I was telling you personally. It's kind of like knowing when you get better hands at the table, I guess. So like I was telling you, that lunch hour, like the 12 to 3, like knowing when those better setups are probably going to appear, like Bernadette, a lot of people have that pre-market niche, or
Hmm.
certain times, like for me, I love 4 o'clock trading, because the after hours is a fresh session and a lot of things are more bearish. You see a lot better like pump and dump patterns. So I think knowing when to trade is
Hmm.
very important, so you're not diving in the waters at the wrong time. And with Trade the Pool, you can analyze all that data. So that, along with risk management, of course, but you have to really analyze the account. And like I preach all the time, if we're trading 25K evals, but it's only a 1K account. So like a $100 quota, that's great. Like realistically, if you make $100 most days and don't blow up, like you're going to be swimming in money. That's going to turn into 200, 300, four
Hmm.
hundred with time. And that's what I have to remind myself, because I'm so ambitious. Like I'll get up to like 500, almost 1,000 on the day, but then I'll continue to trade. I might start trading past lunch and I start giving it back. That's been my issue over the years, and especially as of lately. So I'm learning to work smarter and not so much harder, and learning to let go of the FOMO, like I told you, of always having to, I don't want to miss that runner. You always want to catch that
Hmm.
top. It's like learning to step away, knowing when you have more of an edge with your data. And I think that's really key going forward.
Yeah. So I've become addicted, man, to that elevator down move, and that's why I think I FOMO into some of those plays, like because we see it so often, and it's that drug that I want more of, that elevator down. I mean, we saw it with
Right.
PAPL, we saw it with. I mean, I can't. What was the other ones today? And there were so many. You get them all the
Yeah.
time. You get the euphoria to resistance elevator down. But the thing is, when they don't happen, you have to not fight them. They happen a high percentage of the time,
Right.
but you cannot trade the certainty of it, because the difference between the professional traders and amateurs is professionals, they know what they're going to do regardless of what the market does. We know what we're going to do
Hmm.
regardless of what the market does, and otherwise the amateurs are saying, they don't have the experience really to know what to do in the face of adversity like that. um, that's the difference maker. Like today, for example,
Risk management,
I
man.
had I had 5 or 6 on, and I was telling the green team, I'm like, I want more on today because there are a lot of good setups, and I want to just look and see what's working, what's not working, and if it's not working, take it off. And that's exactly what happened. Like INHD squeezed a ton after it went sideways and stair stepped, and I took it off early because I'm like, that one's not working out. It's stair stepping,
Yeah,
sign of health. I don't want to be involved with that anymore.
exactly.
But I think fades. The reason that's working well is the sizing. Like I'm at a sizing amount that just is working for me. Like today I made 100,
Right.
like just $150, but I can think clearly. Like when I started going
Exactly.
for it, I I like needed the trades to work, if that makes sense. Like I needed
Yeah.
them to work, and I
Smaller
stopped thinking
company, man.
objectively. When I take 10 trades in a day and I just work the winners, take the losers off, but I'm trading the series and through repetition, I just think so much clearer. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Um, lately, like we've been talking about the sprinkling, like not getting so sized in,
Hmm.
dialing in good entry, good risk levels, good setups, and just letting them work. And today, yeah, I was sized down a little bit smaller than usual, so that's like a little over a grand in each position because I am a little more aggressive. So I mean, for me, that's still a lot of leverage on a 25K account because it's really
Hmm.
only $1,000 account. But it's like giving myself that risk, and the edge is there because if I'm in 5 or 6 of them, the odds just play out better. Like you talked
So
about this.
how do you handle the conviction? This is an interesting question. Like I'm just thinking in my head, the risk management with the conviction, like because we both
So
have a lot of conviction on some of these plays. So like we know what 99% of them are going to do.
yeah,
Yeah. What are your thoughts there?
it's been the past couple of days. Like the market's been in our favor. Like
Mhm.
we have to be very adaptive. Very analytical, and we see that. We've seen the pump and dumps kind of come back the past couple of days. So, like I said, usually like more 3 or 4 positions is enough, and that's a good bit to keep my like at one time to be trading. I feel like, but when the market's really working in our favor on days like today, and especially on a Friday when it's sleepier, like we talked about, the Bulls might not be as rowdy. Like that's when you can get involved in some more hangover plays. So yeah, I think just the timing. Like on a Monday morning, you're not going to see me hold 5 or 6 trades. Like 5 or 6, like I said, is very aggressive, and it's a
Mhm.
lot to manage. Like we talk about, it's like you don't want to marry, but how many can you date at one time? And you see what I'm saying? Like so that's kind of how I look at it too. You don't want to spread out too wide, but if the risk is there and you can see a stop level, and
Yeah.
you're comfortable with that risk, like we talk about, it's like, what is a risk that you're not going to feel it? You're not going to get triggered at all.
That's when I trade the best.
So,
When I'm comfortable
that's all it is.
pre-trade exactly what the risk is. Is the risk on this trade? Some trades I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna give it a couple hundred because I think this trade is a very good setup. I'm gonna give it more risk here, and then others 100,
Mhm.
maybe 50. I
Exactly.
think that that's dynamically risking. I think that's more for the advanced trader. I think newer traders
Yeah.
should keep the risk probably consistent across the board until they
Mhm.
really figure out what the edge is and
Right.
sticking to that. But today was
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Today was different. I mean, there were so many setups today, and we tried to take a lot of them. It ended up
Mhm.
working out. Today was a good day for
Yeah.
that
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like we talk about, it's like knowing when to hit the gas and
hmm
when to just chill out.
because so many
And
of the chat rooms they're
it's
like
so cool.
Fridays. I'm taking off. There's no lack of volume, yada yada. But for us as short sellers, I mean, today is a great day because
Oh yeah, man. There's always opportunity. Like
yeah,
that's the thing. That's what's hard. Like we talk about with the over trading bug, man. It's tough, especially if you're in a, and it's that the whole mindset too. It's like you have to be in, even if you're not in an abundance mindset, even if you need the money, you have to somehow find that abundance mindset where I don't need to be in a trade. I'm fine
mhm,
because patience is so key. Like you have to have time away. Like a lot, I think the underrated part of trading is stepping away. Whether that's on the red day to just, and that's hard. That's very hard for
mhm.
me too. Stepping away on a red, I think that's probably the hardest. I would say that's probably the hardest hurdle that traders are going to face is capping their red days, stepping away. Like we talk about, not marrying. Why do we continue to hit a ticker 7 times when it's not working and get so emotional?
Exactly. That's a
Like,
huge
how
trading
can we
error.
not
Yeah.
do that? Like we can't do that. We can't.
That's one of my top rules because I F that up a lot.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. And
Like,
I've still done, it still happens to me and it's horrible, man. But it's like we grow every
yeah,
time it happens.
our
And
HOUR today, I mean, the third time I hit it was the charm, but normally you'd hear me saying I'm not trading these more than twice. I was like, this is the final time, because that's
yeah.
the worst thing you can do, just digging yourself in a hole, just continuously trading one ticker. And then
hmm
the annoying thing is later in the day, you'll forget what the damn ticker is after you've blown
Yeah.
up on it. You're like, oh, what ticker was that I'm trading?
Right. It's so
Right.
bad, man.
It's
Yeah,
so bad.
that's why it is good to always have I really am trying to have more of a bird's eye view of the market. And like I talked about, and like I'll tell you guys, a great tool for that is the Webull. It's free, just the Webull app. Every morning, just hop on there and see what's going on. That's my first thing when I wake up. I hop on Webull and I go to the top gainers. Is it worth waking up this early? Do I want to roll back in bed or do I want to get up?
First
And
thing you do.
you
Don't say.
can set it. It's perfect. You can go to the 5-day gainers and the 1-month gainers. And I sent you the screenshot this morning, and I called
Yeah.
MBY.
MBY was beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I stopped. I don't want to talk about it, the MBY, because I stopped out in a terrible position on it at like 380 something, and then it dumped thereafter. But that was a great call. That MBY was beautiful. Great call there. Yeah, you messaged me about Webull, and I've been using that in the mornings too. Just looking at the 5-day gainer chart. The way you evolve, guys, as your trader journey progresses, you get to the point where it's like I remember that when I first started, it's like I wake up, what's the leading gapper? You take a look at the leading gapper on the day. And now we're at the point where the first thing you do, as you mentioned, is I wake up and I don't say, good morning, honey. I say, what's the gainers from last week? What are the gainers from the week before? I need to know this. There's a lot, and I love it. I mean,
you can play both sides of it too, because
yes.
pre-market is so clean, man. Like I respect the people that wake up 4 or 5 in the morning, especially like each day, because the money is there, man. Like it really is. You just got to be more dialed in. You got to have a little bit bigger balls because there's no stops. So you have to be more dialed in. You can't sprinkle as many positions.
Do you risk down? Are you sizing, like you said, you normally average 1,000 positions? Are you sizing smaller than that in pre-market?
What's funny is I have the most edge. I have the most success actually pre and post. So I like to
size up.
It's so backwards. I size up because that's where I have the most success, especially after hours, bro. There's so much sniping.
Well, it makes sense
because it's like the money. Like I told myself this before, and I love someone had mentioned the idea of having multiple accounts, and I think I have 2 funded accounts right now, and I think I might just do one just for pre and post, and then maybe the other one tinker with market hours because, like I told you, like the thing is sometimes you have those days where you hit the gas and you're just clearing it all day, everything's working, so you get sucked in, but you really gotta. It's not realistic to sit there and trade like we do, like all day. You got to have a break. You got to know when your edge is, when the time works out and stuff. So I've been there. I've gone through phases where I sat and traded from 4 or 5 to like 6, 12 hours of trading and making some lunch, something like that. But it's not sustainable. Maybe a couple days of the year it calls for that.
It's not healthy.
You got to figure out what's realistic for you, where your edge is, best timing, and learn to let it go, And if you can't, just size way down and set stops. If you can't let go of that itch, just size way down. So you're, whatever.
Pre-market seems cleaner. I've really thought about this a lot. I honestly think pre-market is as clean as it is because the high frequency trading, probably they don't turn those switches on until market hours in the larger institutions and whatnot. Because the high frequency trading algos, and I know some of those people. I mean, they're going for pennies. That's what they're going. But they're not going to risk that in the illiquidity of pre-market. And so you just get cleaner moves in pre-market.
Yeah, man. The manipulation that we've seen, God, some days is just so disgusting. I'm just like, it makes me just like,
Yeah.
bro, so bad. So I just have to size, like the hours that we trade, I have to size down a lot of times until we see a very convicted trade. And I think that's where you might have some room for growth, because oftentimes when these stocks start to snap and you're finishing taking your profit, other shorts are just now getting involved. And we have to remember how much meat is on these bones. So I think that's what, as you preach as well, we have to work on working our winners, like we talked about, work our winners well.
I F that up. Hour today. I
Start
should have smacked it
adjusting
again.
that stop
Yeah.
down, finding a more realistic risk on the levels as it dumps. Like once we see a death candle down 5 or 10% and it comes back up a little bit, we have a new risk level to risk off
Yeah,
of. And we can
exactly.
cut it from there.
Hour
And
was great for that
start
today.
getting comfortable working that down. That's the key to really milk these, is start getting comfortable working those channels down, and not just, obviously the predictable piece, but that predictable piece could be, as we see, an all-day fade and rinse down.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. Hour was exactly that today. I should have done it, and that's lack of trader maturity on my part, because it's something I've really been trying to work on with Hour. It popped up, and when you're worsening your average, it just has an emotional ramification for me that's really difficult to grasp, even to this point.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I'm like so comfortable sizing losing positions, but I have to reframe my mind around that to the point where it's like, essentially, you just have to go with your trading plan. And this is where I find more success for traders out there that are listening. I find more success when pre-trade I say, okay, I'm planning to scale this 3 times. If it works against me, I'll break this position into 3 pieces, but any more than that is going to be gambling. And if you don't have that in mind, and then you just keep adding, that is gambling as well. Like, you just have to define it. You just have to define it prior to entering the trade. That's where I've taken big losses, when I don't define it, and then I'm like, ooh, like, I can better my average here. Let me smack it again on a short. I can better my average. Let me. And that's where I start getting in trouble. Yeah.
And too quick on the spikes, and then all of a sudden you're down triple digits, like in the blink of an eye, and then it's 200, and you're like, oh shit, okay, smack it. Like, am I all in here?
am I all in?
Because
Here?
these things are so wicky if you're not dialed in, But I think really where we're getting at is the manipulation, man. We gotta respect when the manipulation is going to be there. We know it's going to be there right at the bell, and a lot of the moves, like, it's tricky because some days we're like, oh, we should have waited an hour to trade, and then other days, it's like at the bell stuff dumps. So it's just like,
it's always something.
But the power of Trade the Pool is you really can see your data, and you can, like, if you've been with them for a while, you can really, like, one day I was just like, man, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it. I looked at all the accounts that I've blown, and I was like, where am I going wrong? It sucks.
What did you find?
And it's like, I realized that, I was risking too much, but it was like the lunch hour chop. I noticed that I tended to start giving money away like 11:30, 12, like after that. And especially then if you go on tilt and you're trying to make money, that's the problem. I think that's what happens to a lot of people on red days. They start digging themselves a hole, and then they're in the lunch hour chop. And it's just choppy.
Yeah, like you were mentioning earlier, it's like I'm oversizing on a bad hand that I think's a good hand. Now
you're trading. Yeah, now you're sitting at the table and you're playing, 4-7, 4-8, 5-9. You're betting pre-flop with a 5-9 offsuit. You're just getting risky. You're pushing.
Yeah, and it doesn't work in your favor if you make money on that, because you're going to lose that money down the road, learning the wrong lesson, right?
It's just looking at the long term, man, with the numbers, like we talk about, like $100 a day on the 25 account is great. That's killing it.
You're great, but it's tough.
10% of your account.
It's tough for me to really appreciate $100.
Exactly, and that's a tough thing, because
it's great, but it's hard for me.
It's tough, man, because you have those huge, massive days, and
yeah,
and I think that was the thing with me too, with that's why I'm so aggressive, is because I've made so much in one day that I'm just like, man, this is. It's like I often find myself hitting a quote of like 5, 6, 7, 800, and it's like I always like kind of cap out there, and then I give a good bit of it back. So I'm working on being more conservative. I'm just trying to make a couple hundred a day, and if I can do that, that's gonna, just not having those outlier blow up days, man. When the market flips on us and it switch,
Mm-hmm.
and you're over biased and the scammiest ticker, it stinks like shit, but it's just pumping to the moon, and you're
Couple hundred a
oversized.
day, man. That kitty of yours is gonna have some good friskies.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah, the
sure.
oversizing. I mean, it's problematic. I'm sizing
We're
it. I tried to go for it, and then blew an account. Sizing at a level in which I can think objectively. Whatever that is for you guys, find it and kind of stick with it, because once you're sizing to a point where it makes your emotions increased and that emotional dial's too much, it's not going to have a great bottom line, implication on your account. It's really not. So size appropriately for your emotions. I think that'll work, to the best of for you guys.
Yeah, and you can see, what happens when you size correctly and what happens when you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Mm-hmm.
chart goes from a linear, humble progression to a knife, and then
Yes.
once you do that, you're on tilt. You're
Yeah.
playing every hand now. You're
Yeah.
gambling. So it's just
Yeah.
discipline to shut it off, and that's why I
Yeah.
really respect you, bro. Especially because you dropped your max loss down. Like that's not easy to do, but it's so powerful, because looking back on all my success in my trading, if I had this discipline to walk away after a couple $100 loss, it would probably save me in the long run. I mean, I have to, me personally, with my risk, I have to give myself a little more wiggle room. I think the $500 is very fair, because, like we talk about, how much are you really risking on each trade with good analyzed, you know, RR, and you got to know when, if it's not your day, it's
I
not your
think
day.
it's because my risk reward's not appropriate. That's the one thing I have learned looking at Trade the Pool. My reward is not good. I mean, on the account I'm working right now, 25,000 flex, it's like 1.4 reward to 1, which is an improvement for me, and that's not even that great, but it is an improvement for me,
That's
and that's sad.
yeah,
I'm like coming face to face with my problem, which is I have got to scale some of these winners and let them work for me. I have always had the problem of taking them off too early. So yeah, I think, I brought that max risk down because I'm like, what am I making on the average day? And my average day, because of the risk reward, the reward not being that great, is not enough. If I'm making $100 a day, I should not on my worst day lose $500. That's not appropriate. That's not appropriate risk reward. So that's why I brought it down. But I have been beefing it up a little bit. Like today, for instance, at minimum, I'll take my 5 trades might be 150 to 200 shares to start. And then
mhm,
the idea for me is if the green ones that are working like I want to size even more. So let's get like to
yeah,
400. And the
there
ones
you
that aren't working, take them off. And to work those winners. And that's what I'm trying to do differently, although I didn't do it successfully today so much. SOGP I took
yeah,
off, and that would have been excellent. The problem is I reduce my risk when I do that. Like if I hit it, I don't know. Maybe you can shine some light on this, because it annoys me to no end. I'll hit them again, and it brings my average down. And so then I reduce the risk to like break even or so.
yeah.
And that's probably a problem. I just don't like, I don't want to lose a couple $100 on this trade at this point, when I size it a lot, much heavier. So I don't know.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts there?
I like the idea of giving it some time, like hitting it really small, and then are we talking about like backside? Or are we talking about like the fresh pump and dumps on the day? Because
That's a
that
good
also
question.
depends,
Yeah. Yeah. I will.
'cause
This
I like
morning it
the
was both.
idea. Yeah, I like the idea of sprinkling backside and just analyzing, and then giving
NBY
like
was
30
good.
minutes where, like maybe not right at bell, but it's just hard to say. That's where experience comes in. It's like, how bearish is the chart?
Yeah.
Because sometimes charts get real bearish right before the bell and they just fall apart.
So
So
what
that comes with some
your tick?
experience, but there's also trappiness. So it's
Mhm.
the bell is tough, man, but it's like
It is.
sprinkling a good bit of them at bell, analyzing it, and then yeah, just kind of
I think
checking back.
what I did a lot of this week was like the hangovers I stabbed at in and around the open, but then I just kind of relaxed on the other trades. And
Hmm.
we've said that a lot, and I don't really stick to it that often, but I did more so this week. And you probably did as well, right? I mean, just take the
Yeah,
hangover trades because they're the higher probability, more predictable setups, and then wait for the setups to develop on the overcrowded tickers.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think that's key. Like, because once the hangovers are sleepier, so you can set the chart levels and see it and be like, okay, this is a fair risk. Size a little smaller than you want, widen the risk out a little bit wider because some of the hangovers they have wiki manipulation. And so, depending on the nature of the ticker, kind of give it a fair amount of risk and then just let it do its thing and then move your attention to what's moving and, start to see, like we talk about, like, where's everyone at? Where's the shift happening? And, kind of analyze the day from there. But yeah, like coming back in the afternoon is so fruitful too. If the afternoon trading is very fruitful. At the end of the day, 2, 3 o'clock into after hours, you have a new hangover, a new
Okay.
hangover that are presenting themselves.
Yeah, I
Um,
normally will see those power hour plays, and I'm curious, like, as to if you if you're
yeah,
long the
Webull is
spread from
great.
the close, or you're just waiting for the short.
I told you I used scans for a while, but it was so
Mm.
expensive, so I got tired of paying for it. I was just like making emails and doing trials. But Webull is all you need,
Do
and
the Momo screener. Yeah, Webull Momo screener.
Webull. I really want to, just like I don't even use my Webull account, but you guys should all use it if you're with Trade the Pool because the data is the same. Like you were talking about today, there was a discrepancy with Thinkorswim.
Mm.
The level 2 is different, and that's one of our biggest hurdles at Trade the Pool. I mean, let's just face it, the spreads. So Webull has the same exact spreads as Trade the Pool. So you have a great edge there because but when I'm really dialed in, especially in like a trade that's usually like 4 o'clock p.m., like the pump and dumps that happen, it's one of my like bread and butter strategies. I use Thinkorswim on my phone. I'm looking at the level 2 because it's more precise and paints the picture of where price is really going. The spreads are so much spreadier on Trade the Pool, so it sucks. So I'm looking at Webull and I have my charting and stuff. I'm looking at Trade the Pool, and those match. That's the price that I'm trading.
Hmm.
But on Thinkorswim, I'm seeing live data with the more like true order book and exactly what's going on. So it's a little tricky, when you're really dialed in like that. So that's kind of, but my advice is use Webull data because, especially if you're doing pre and post market, so you know where you're getting your fills and stuff. But the problem is also you have to wait for the price to come pick you up on both ends. So it's
Yeah.
tough, but you end up making more money that way because the price has to come to you. So it's good and bad. When you have the edge though, and the charts work in your favor, you get that 10 cents. And I think that's the other thing that we need to address, like the 10-cent rule and some
Hmm.
of the trading rules. Trade the Pool. There's really some workarounds. It's like when the halt rule, you don't sell everything or you don't buy everything. You got to leave a little bit on so that you can get around the 30-second rule or whatever it is. So that's important because I told you when I first started, I had like a $500 or $600 trade that didn't count, and it's like if I would have just scaled it, you
Ooh.
know.
Mm.
So yeah, but I sold everything. I don't know if it was 10 cents or the 30-second rule, but anyway, that's how you get around it. You just scale. So keep that in mind,
Yeah,
guys.
scaling out really works effectively, anyways. To leave a piece, take
Yeah, but
90% off, leave a piece.
the problem is though therein is that's like kind of the backside of it is then you don't know exactly where your average is and if you're worried about the 10 cents. So I recommend when I'm actively trading and I know I've been holding the stock long enough, go ahead and just take your profit and then immediately resmack it. Like I talk about, you can take leftovers. Just take your leftover position there, smaller size, manage your risk, and set your stops. Kind of go from there.
Absolutely. This is good insight, guys. We've been having a great conversation. I really haven't been. I got to catch up on chat a little bit here. We got Keith in the building, Kayvon, MG, Perfect Fall. Everybody's in here. Manuel. Yeah, a lot of people in the green team finding success, with these evals too.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of power with trading the pool.
There's certainly
it forces you to be disciplined.
Yeah.
It forces you to be disciplined, and it's like you don't have to go to C-Pro. You don't have to wire offshore $1,000 and blow it up and just feel horrible. Like you can just do that with $100.
Yeah.
I wish I would have found trade the pool before I found offshore.
Yeah, trade the pool has certainly been helpful. I mean, I treat it extremely, just like my personal capital. I mean, that's how I feel like I take it. Focused on the edge, the best setups, and looking to get funded and really continuously just get payouts over time. I mean, that's how I'm treating it.
Yeah.
And I know you are too. 2 funded accounts, both 25,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a nightmare. Blew my 50K. We all blow them, man. I mean, no one's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, we all have our bad runs, so we just gotta stay positive and.
Yeah, I mean, it happens to everybody. I mean, one of you pointed out this morning. I won't mention your name, Perfect Fall. Just a bad day at work, and yeah, I ended up taking some nasty losses, just not in the right mindset. The same thing happened yesterday with one of the guys in stream. I know it happens for me too. Lack of sleep with kids or whatever, and then you're not in the mood, and you don't predefine the risk like you should. I mean, there's a lot. Things have to work in harmony. But speaking of these accounts, I know you got some information to share with the green team as far as. Some of your accounts have gone. You want me to go ahead and pull up your share screen and we can take a look?
Yeah, let me see. I have a couple pulled up here. Let's see. I don't know where that other one went.
Kayvon, you didn't look at the short float.
Yeah, oh, there we go. Yeah, that was a really impressive one.
All right, here we go.
So
let's spotlight this and go ahead and talk about this a little bit. This was which account?
This is what can happen. This is what can happen when you have a hot market and you're dialed in.
Hardly any drawdowns.
This account was in drawdown. It was actually the first day was bad. It was a slow, sleepy day. You can see I was just taking small after small L, but a hot market, that was only like 2 days. Like once the uptrend came, there was only 2 days. I think I sent you the screenshot that day. I made like 3K that day. It was the day that all those after hour stocks.
Oh, I remember, dude. Those
right time. When to hit the gas. I scaled all 3 of them, and I didn't even size that big.
Some people.
That's the power of like a good run when the market's hot. What can be, risk managed, not risking too much, just dialed in. But you got to protect it. None of it matters if you don't protect it.
That's what this is the one you blew, the 50K. But I mean, look at how well you were doing though. Did you just step into the market a couple days and not with the right mindset to blow it?
I guess.
What do you think?
I think what happened is I think that was when we had like a massive shift. And the next day we had like those irrational offering tickers just going parabolic. And I got so biased and stubborn. The next thing you know, I'm down 300-400 in my 50K on a short. And I'm like, this thing's a scam. It's not. Come on. We're not taking this loss. and it gets away from you, man. And you hit max loss, and you're like, do I pay more to bypass it? Do I cut it off? You get tilted. It's tough, man. And that's why it doesn't matter how good of a trader you are if you can't protect what you make, man.
Yeah.
And that is the
Capital
toughest
preservation.
thing. Like I say, I make money every day and I give it back. So I'm working on making money and not giving it back. Like that's what you got to do.
What you said there speaks volumes, because for traders like us that we have conviction on plays that we've seen thousands of times work out. Like we know these, we know the financials are junk. We know the offering is on the way. We know these are just FOMO traders jumping in this. And so it's like, yes, we know where this ticker is going to be end of day. How convicted and oversized are we going to get on it trading that conviction? That's the problem. It is such an interesting journey, because of that. You're so convicted on what's going to happen, yet you have got to have such good risk management to step away from even that ticker if it's not doing what you think it's going to do. Trading's a humbling experience, very humbling experience.
It's so tough. Like you get so biased, and you just want to keep going. And hey, baby, you have a good day. I'm on stream. It smells like gas. Yeah, it's fine. There's the food's in there. Yeah, my bad, bro. But yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so look at that risk reward, the 1 to 2.3 with your success rate is 46% too. That goes to show you. I mean, that's excellent, right? I mean, you don't have to win half the time, and you can still make $3,400.
Yeah, so the risk reward, that's a little higher. Like you said, yours is like 1.3, 1.4. On most of mine, it's like 1.5, 1.6-ish. And then the success rate is around 50%. It's like you don't have to, it's just all a numbers thing. If you have the edge and you're cutting your losses, you don't have to be winning all the time. Like that just shows it. So.
Kayvon, what happened? So you got oversized on Wayfair with the short interest there? But yeah, I mean, guys, I'll pull up my chart here too real quick. I mean, this is just this 25K account. I'm a third of the way there. A little choppy. Let me pull this up.
It gets choppy, man. The market.
52% success rate, 1 to 1.4 on this one currently. But yeah, I mean,
it'll get you there. I mean, that's good. That's all you need because you're on the right track, right? So those are winning numbers.
And then the discipline.
So that's a comfortable. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right? The discipline one here.
That account?
Oh, that one's fairly new. The discipline one here is maybe a couple weeks older, and I like the uptrend. It's just here's always my problem, guys. Is like I'll have a nice uptrend and then just take a couple nasty losses and then have to make them back.
Man.
So the upswings have got to be more significant. That's why I've been trying to tell the guys. I mean, I'm fully transparent about this. I gotta the winners gotta size them. It's very uncomfortable for me, but we live in a land of uncomfortableness. I mean, you've got to do the uncomfortable thing in trading. That's the problem. If you're on the side of the majority, be very cautious. You got to take the opposite of the 90%ers if you want to be part of the 10%, which sometimes involves, making your average nasty, worse, and sizing into some of these plays. So next week, I'm certainly going to be focusing on that a little bit more. I will be adjusting the stop, and it will be painful like today if it stops me out and then just continues back on down. But the ones that work continuously, it's going to be major green days. I'm thinking AIHS, that thing from whatever it was at, it faded all day. That kind of a ticker, man, I mean, it's going to make a huge difference. I mean, you'll essentially get nearly funded. What my $100, $200 quota, it will be 3-4x that. Kind of like Perfect Fall with PAPL today. When you get that elevator down, you halt down, you open up a point lower. Just
Yeah, it doesn't
amazing.
take much, especially like we talk about if we sprinkle and we sprinkle with the right size, all of a sudden one's going to elevator down. The next thing you know, you're up Q on the day just on that trade alone. Like we look at MBY earlier, if we would have sprinkled 5 hangovers, they could have all hit your stop. But
You need for
MBY
one
would have
trade.
made it all.
That's the
like
thing, man. Like you
that
take
type of
all these trades and you have that one NBY that just works so well all day, and you're like, if I would have just focused that one trade that we were convicted about from 8:30
yeah.
on, and taken all these other trades, and NBY just worked great. But
It's like stuff like that. It's like, okay, I'm not going to marry it, but I'm going to give it a little bit more attention. I'll give it a little bit more risk, and that's where what we talk about. It's like kind of understanding what the chart, like zooming out on the chart. Like, it was a beautiful chart. I sent you the screenshot. It was like up 600 something percent on the month, a big death candle, and it rinsed out all day. It's like that's textbook. That's what we look for. Like, there's our confirmation. Like, we know with a big candle like that, it's a perfect level to risk off of the top of that huge candle that just put in, and work it. Get comfortable with it. Once it starts to work, smack it, drop the stop a little bit, and start milking it. And just ride it out, and set a level, set a little trend line, or just kind of give it a little bit more attention. Drop your stop down, and that's how I play it. Once these things confirm, like, I love to see a big candle down, and then just trickle back up a little bit so I can hit a starter and go from there. And then if it's just manipulation as a reclaim, so be it. But you're only risking off that candle, because if it goes above where it just had that death candle, obviously you don't still want to be in it then. And
something you've been doing really well that I took note of is you'll take the most predictable piece off, and then when you hit it again, if let's say this ticker pops back up towards resistance, you'll go half size. Like, your sizing is really good. I think it's so important for the newer guys to listen to that. Like, you'll go half size, because it's like, well, this is I took the pocket ace hand and I made a good amount of money on that. Now I'm at like a pocket 5 or 6. It's still a decent hand. I'm gonna size it, but I'm not gonna risk everything I just made on pocket aces.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Very true. That's a great analogy. And then also, like, with the experience, to realize when is the trade at that pocket ace level. Because sometimes when we're trying the fresh pump and dumps, when we're trying to like hit the tops, it might be like a pocket 7 right now. Let me, a little risk, but not to get too carried away. And then it confirms, and then it turns into pocket queens or kings. And it's like, okay, now I need to put a little bit more risk up there. Let me play this hand out, that type of thing. And just with time, realizing, what ticker we're dealing with and the nature of it. And like we talk about, it's just risk management, not coming into any one day too aggressive, because that's where we go wrong. Like, we have to, I think the idea of like really scaling into the day as well is key. Like, don't get too aggressive on your first trade. Trade way smaller than you want to.
Take what the market gives. Yeah, I've had bad days stepping in saying I'm getting funded today, essentially. You're like, you're forcing your will on the market. You're like, I don't care if it's not the day for it. I'm gonna force the day for it. Those are the bad days. Take what the market gives.
Exactly, and not being greedy. Take what the market gives us, and then you can't have such a bad day that you're carrying those emotions into the next day. That's the worst. When you go into like multi-day tilts, and I think we've probably all been there before, if we're being honest, where it's just multiple days of you're just risking too much. You're just in a bad mindset, and you gotta snap out of that and just start each day fresh, no matter what happened the day before. And that starts with like setting rules with risk parameters and setting yourself up for success. But I think they were talking about be careful scaling in. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, guys. Like, I like just clearing my position, because I hate worrying about that 10-cent rule. So oftentimes I like to get my 10 cents, or if I'm up a couple $100 in the trade, I'm worried about making too much in the trade if it really elevates. So I'll just take off and get right back in and then remanage my risk. But you have to do a little bit more math that way. You can't, you're doing quick math in your head. Okay, I just made 300. What's this risk level of the stop? That's where some quick math does come in. But I love that stuff. So I'm all in for like taking profit, re-smacking, adjust my stop, just dial in and milk it until it says otherwise.
So
And
what do you
that's
do
where
in this for this example? Perfect Falls asking this is something we got to all work on. Like this, he said it's his problem with averaging down. It's mine too. What do you do with your stop? I mean, do you keep your stop at the same place it was originally, or are you breaking even on the trade? You bringing it down? Like,
Yeah, that's where it does become a hard parameter. And it kind of depends on the ticker and the levels because it's so tricky because it's so wicky too. And that's why I kind of like to look at levels on this chart. And, I always preach about that 50% up level. Like, if a stock's been running and it ran 200% and it faded all the way down to like 50%, like, I'm probably not still interested in it. Like, but if it's got a lot of meat on the bone, it's like how much meat is there to pick? How much is the risk worth? Has the predictable piece came off yet, depending on the levels? Like how big was the death candle relative to how far it ran, and just the live price action and what we're seeing on the tape and the book. There are a lot of moving pieces to it, but obviously you got to protect your profits though. I mean, like we always talk about, like we got to protect the profits. We can't be giving too much back. So
yeah.
that's a big problem. I take a predictable piece, and then you get stuck giving all your gains back in the chop. Like you get manipulated
Okay,
out.
so FaZe, here's a question. Let's say your quota, let's say you get your 200 quota on the day, but you're still getting your pocket A setups. Like, are you sizing down to protect your quota, or are you still maintaining proper risk based on the edge that's presenting?
I wouldn't really size up or size down. It depends on what the market is feeding me though. And I think that's being aware of like what time in the day it is and the market conditions. Like we talked about today, I was aggressive, not with my position sizing because, it's a Friday, but with my position quantity because there were so many setups and it was a Friday. So it's a little sleepier. So it's like, really, you have to understand like what time of the day you're trading and what the market's doing, because what the theme is. Is it pump and dump theme? Is it runners or buy high, hope higher? Like, what's the theme? So that's the hard part. It's like knowing, not getting too. You get so invested over bias on a short, and you realize it's a squeeze the pigs day. Like pigs are flying day. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, your max loss, and you're in chat like, damn, I did it again.
Kayvon, I just want to. Kayvon is such a good trader. He's such a good trader. He's gotta like stop taking these max loss days. Be funded and paid out if you could cut a loser. Yeah, I think what I just said, it exasperates the internal struggle, and we've conversed over this a lot, Kayvon. This internal struggle of just not being able to cut the loser and then not the win. Yeah, it's essentially my chart too, like the stair step up, elevator down. So we both got to get better at that. The losers. Like for me, it's like predefining that, just knowing exactly where I'm stopping out of, and I know he's done pretty well at that too. Like saying, okay, new low, I'm out of this, and sticking to it. Essentially, you got to be the bad loser wins. The bad loser or the good loser wins. The best loser wins. Yeah,
that's why I respect you, because I might, I might have a big day, but if I have a big loss, it doesn't matter. But if you're capping your losses at that level, like you can make this much in a day, so what am I going to give back? And that's where it all comes. That's like trader maturity, just knowing when to step away and just being able to just put your ego to the side and humble up.
Well, it's interesting because it's like
today's a new day, or even come back in the afternoon. At least just take it off for the morning, go eat lunch, go work out, go do something, and come back in the afternoon. But if you're short, especially, like If you're long,
Something I got to work on is like, again, on the red days, it's like I am eager to trade my way out of that hole. And when I'm green, I'm less eager. So I'm more so sit back,
yeah,
just wait patiently for the setup to show up. And it's like, some of those green days, got to just keep the pedal to the metal. Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Don't be, yeah. Get greedy in a sense. Don't oversize or push
Hmm.
things. But if things are
But
working
still
out,
be alert.
you stay at the computer. Like
Stay there.
when
Yeah.
things are not working out, or you hit your queue and it's slow, and that time is getting there. That sketchy lunch, that nightmare lunch hour chop. It's like just go ahead and get out. Be okay stepping away. And yeah, but it's just hard when it's like, oh, but Soggy Peter's up 400%, and liquor's up 200%. It's like what could be, but we could
Today
talk
is the day. Yeah.
elevator, like the offering.
Yeah, exactly.
Letting go, man, letting go of that, knowing when your edge is, like I keep preaching, and what's realistic, because but some days, if you're green and the market's working, keep going. And that it's just like I keep talking about, like time in the market, understanding the conditions. What is each day? Wake up each day. We've never made it. We're always making it. Like we talk, you preach that. I love that. And it's so true. We wake up each day humble and react to the market. Be informed, analyze it, react.
Yeah, I hate the gurus saying that. Like, you're one trade away from making it. Yeah, you're never gonna make it. It's always a journey. I mean, you hear all these. I mean, I've heard so many stories, so countless stories, countless on countless on countless from traders that have made it that lose it all, blow up, and
Mm-hmm.
so it can
So
happen.
often, bro.
There's not a finish line to this. There's certainly not a finish line to this. This is a day by day, trade by trade
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, it's a journey.
yeah. I
Large
mean,
caps get
so
crazy
true.
sometimes, Emmanuel. Kayvon, large cap calling your name.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pour myself a drink.
Oh yeah, yeah. You take your time. All right, traders, what do you guys think? Should we get Fades on here in the mornings for the Green Team live stream? I think he's good. He's good at this. I think we could, especially on days like today, we could certainly use a couple of us bouncing some tickers across to each other. For today, for example, 10 plus tickers that we were looking at. I mean, if there's a couple of us really diving deep and giving some detailed analysis on some of these plays, that'd be really helpful. Perfect fall. I refuse to touch large caps. Yeah. Just look, don't touch. Yeah. Yeah, I'm there with you. I just look, I don't touch.
Hello, baby. You want to say hey, everyone?
Fades, your wife might appreciate this, or girlfriend. The large caps, do you touch those or do you just look at them?
I talk about it with my dad when he calls me. I make trades for him in his account.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've always preached the money to be made is in these small caps because the volatility's there. But to be
And it's
honest, man, there's been some really good shorts that were like more expensive, like larger floats, like big boy stocks.
mhm.
They're clean though. The price action is clean. I've shorted some like maybe 10, 7, $8 stocks that were, heavier, bigger names. And it was cleaner price action, it wasn't as choppy, it wasn't manipulated, but
Well, I remember one day Emmanuel was in something, and like some Trump tweeted something or the Fed came out with something, and it was just, and then it was a wrap essentially. There's slippage you can't get. So that's my, I guess, issue with large caps is
Mm.
like small caps just completely are in their own universe. I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter
it's like a
what
different
Trump's
language.
tweeting. It's a whole different ball game in small caps. It doesn't matter what's going on out there in the world. Small caps
Yeah,
are in their own, got their own thing going on. It doesn't matter what Trump tweets. What war is going on.
right.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. It's like, oh, the market just turned around because job numbers just came out and they're good and yada yada. I don't give
Yeah,
a insert
right.
expletive. It doesn't matter. This ticker is a pump and dump. Uh,
Exactly. That's what I like, not having to follow those tweets. I hate the news, man. I'm very tuned out. I do my own thing. I don't like following all that stuff. I don't want to have to worry about what Trump's going to say.
yeah,
It's like it's your own art. It's like a different niche. It's cool, man. And I've been swimming in these waters for a while. I used to swim in the OTC market waters.
yeah.
I made a shit ton of money during COVID trading those scammy like crypto pump OTC stocks. And yeah, I was on the long side, man. But it's like we talk about. I was thinking about what you said. It's like thinking going against the grain. It's like being the 10% that make it. You can't be like the herd. And contrary traders like you and I, it's just we have a different way of looking at things. And like we both say, it's just so hard to go long now because we're wired to short. Like that's just how we
I
look at
can't do it. That's how like the
it.
AK-47 Josh from TTP, like
Yeah,
even today he longed hour at the early on, and I just can't do it. I cannot get
yeah.
myself. But he did that very well. He longed, and then on AIHS as well, he longed it up, and he can't short, and I can't long. So I don't know what it is. I mean, I used to be able to do the longs, but there, I don't know, man. I think because of so much pain embedded in me from
Yeah,
longing
all
when I
the
first started out, I can't
time.
do it. I don't know what is it for you?
Yeah, I just ever since I really got into shorting, like I fell in love with it, man. Like I told you, I ran
Oh,
up. I made so much so quickly on a good run when the market was working, and I realized the power of it. Like because it was a week similar to this week, where I was just hitting the gas on a CMEG offshore account. I told you the story. I've told it before. I turned 2K into 25K in like 2 weeks of just grinding. Like 8 hours of trading each day, just shorting the hell out of like 10 names, milking them. This was like a year or two ago. And it was kind of like a week, like imagine the past couple of days. It was like that kind of action where we just had so many nice, clean pump and dumps and big rinses back down. And it's like the potential is there when the market's hot. It's just all about knowing when to push the gas, like when to go a little faster, when to step up and swing a little harder, and when to just kind of chill out. Like we said, at any given, it was a good day, a good couple of days, but Monday morning it could be a nightmare for shorts. They could get annihilated. Like,
yeah, yeah. Kayvon pointed out one squeeze and poor risk management account's gone. I mean, it's certainly
yeah,
true. It's
hmm
certainly true. I mean, that's something to be
yeah,
cautious of in this space. It is something I'm very cautious of. I mean, I will put risk parameters around because of that. But
yeah.
we know what 99% of the time they're going to do. Kayvon, come on.
And that's what we have to preach because like we always, yeah, we want to get so convicted, but it's just like when it doesn't work out, it hurts. And the more convicted you are, the more size you have, the more emotional you get. So like we keep talking about understanding what is that level for you that you're comfortable to take that loss and not get triggered, not feel like you need to re-smack it. And I like you talk about like drawing that line in the sand, like I'm gonna scale it in thirds. Like I'll give myself that with the risk. Or I'm gonna try it 3 times. And if it doesn't work the third time, I have to just respect the market or else it's gonna eat me up. It's like we have to look at it like that and not just, get carried away. And that focusing on several tickers and having like a watch list every day is powerful for that because over you're not too invested in any one thing, and that's so important, not oversizing the wrong trade. Like catch it before it happens. And how does that happen? Risk management. Risk less than you want to. Risk less than you want to. Whatever you want to risk, take a smaller trade than that. Go from there. It sucks. It's not fun, but if you want to make it, because like what we talk about, if you just made 100 a day, that compounds, and it's just less is more. Work smarter, not harder, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Work smarter, not harder. I think because of what Kayvon brought up is the reason why we like the backside so much, because the chances of those squeezes happening it's far fewer, on some of these plays that are less, the jewel is less shiny.
Yeah,
Yeah, these plays,
the
whereas
backside bandits, man. We're the backside boys.
yeah, focusing on the plays that are less shiny for the momentum traders, and but again, they could reclaim their shine, and at that point, we're out of them. I mean, that's the whole point. We're in it for the fade, for the profit taking, but outside of that, we'll step out of the way. I mean, that's the whole point. We'll ride them down. Those are the high conviction, predictable, profitable setups that will take all the way down. So, as far like what got you into shorting? I mean, when did you make the switch? You think?
I think it was like I think I went offshore around the same time, or no, I started shorting and then I went offshore. Um, I was just I was trying to
Drawn
make a
to it.
couple
Yeah.
good trades, and it was just horrible, man. Like having the PDT, like having more than 25K and then going under it and being restricted is like the worst thing ever, dude. Like you're in shackles. So I finally went offshore, and finally had the power to short. And I don't know, man. I always saw stocks, especially after hours, like one of my main strategies now. I'd always saw this trend. I'm like, oh, at 4 o'clock, a new set of stocks pump. Like I can try to chase one and make some money, you know? And it's like now I just look at it like we talk about the other side of the coin, like the against the herd. I'm like, oh, okay, at four
Yeah.
o'clock every day stocks pump. And what do stocks do after they pump? They dump. So I've been studying this 4 o'clock trend for years and like talking about it a lot. And I love it. And some days it doesn't happen, but most days you see it right at 4 o'clock, like cheap stocks, like usually stocks under $1 or like $1 or $2. They have this quick like algorithmic spike up, and the success rate is so much higher for the ride down. And it's just like seeing patterns like that over time, over years, and I realized, wow, I have a really good edge with that. And then kind of just carrying that and into the other strategies. But
Hmm.
yeah, dude, I would love to do some after hour trading on here too. Like I heard you saying like streaming the trading and stuff. That'd be really cool. We really sharpen each other up. We hold each other accountable. We're less susceptible to go wrong when we're trading together, staying strong, calling stuff out. We got more eyes on the market.
Yeah,
And
if you're any day
really,
you're open to do this side by side, I'm there with you. If you wanna do this, it's easy. I mean, just get in here, hop in here like Monday morning, and we'll share screens and
yeah,
go
that'd be
over
cool,
plays.
man. We can try it out. I'm down.
Yeah, I think we'll do very well together. And well, I mean, we're looking at the same plays, looking at the same shorts, finding backside plays. So yeah, I think it'll work out very well.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Down for it.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. Yeah, because I mean, this morning, like it was too much for me. I honestly was thinking to
Right.
myself, I wish Fates was on here because this is too much.
Yeah,
There's
that's what
way
I'm
too
saying.
much.
I couldn't even keep up with chat and stuff. Usually I'm like in chat calling stuff out, but I haven't even been that present the past couple of days because it's just been pretty hot. Like I've been trying to keep up myself, like in this trade. I'm trying to call stuff like
Hmm.
yeah, so the power of being on stream, helping each other out, man. It's like trading is a very lonely journey. But when we are trading the same edges and same strategies, there's money to be made, man. There's plenty of money. It's there. Let's help each other out. Like it's cool
Hmm.
because it's been a lonely journey. I've been trading, doing
It
my own
is.
thing for over 5 years now.
I
Like
really respect that you. I mean, you're waking up early on your own by yourself, not having a stream, a chat room. No, I mean, you're doing this all
yeah,
solo.
I
I mean,
used to. That's the thing. Like as a short, I'm totally just a lone wolf. Like I used to be in chat rooms. I'd follow guys. I was on the iHub boards pumping the pennies. You know, I was on Stock Twits. I have a Stock Twits rag bear account that I go in there and talk shit, but most of the time I don't even have time to go in there and talk and post and do all that. Like I'm trading. You know, I used to be big on the boards and like I never really got into discords and the chat rooms, but I did used to follow people when I was a bull and stuff. You know, follow
Not
some
anymore.
trades,
I
follow
mean,
some.
because what we have to say is so unpopular
We all
as
do
short
that,
sellers,
right?
anyways. You know.
You know, following the Foos and the Gurus and you know the Zach Morris days and all that, and, you know, all that stuff. So
Well, I've been a part of essentially most all chat rooms. I don't really go out of my way to disparage any, but I've been a part of all of them. I mean, they're pretty much all. Yeah, don't join them. That's all I have to say. They're
yeah,
looking. They're essentially just marketing campaigns. You're trying to get your money. Uh,
right.
but yeah, I mean, I agree. It's difficult. This journey's difficult doing it alone. I mean, I've been streaming so long doing this. Like, I don't even know what it's like to trade alone. That's why I respect what you're doing. Like, wow, you're waking up. You have no like. I have this obligation. I got the green team. I don't even know what it's like to trade by myself. I mean,
I know,
I
dude.
get
It's been cool to find you and
yeah,
hop on and stuff and like and it's so funny how similar we trade. I remember I
yeah.
think I saw like a CMEG video or whatever, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, I make videos sometime on my page. I made one video about like how I blew up my 25K account. It was like a confessional video. It's like horrible, man. God, such
Those
a
get
night.
the views though.
That was just that sent me through like years of pain, bro. It was so bad, man. But I've evolved and like I can manage risk well. Like I can see some red, and that's what we have to be comfortable with as a short. You know, be comfortable seeing a little bit of red before we go green, like we talk about. You know, and just manage that risk accordingly. What is a realistic risk for you, where you can cap it? You know, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of moving pieces, but green team's here. We
We're
dissect it
here.
all, sharpen each other up. It's great. It's great, man.
All right, traders. I mean, we've been going here for an hour and 20 minutes. RIP to my keyboard. Um, let us know if you guys want us to go over anything here before we wrap it on up. But man, yeah, when you're a trader, the weekends are not so fun. No bueno. But Fades is up for it. We're going to be live together on Monday morning, going over some plays and looking for that action. Looking for another solid week. Like the last couple weeks, we're not entirely great, but this week, very good, very good. And that's what we want
Yeah.
to do. On the good weeks, we want to take advantage of the action, and
Hmm.
the bad weeks, cap those losers.
Yeah, react and adapt, and yeah, know when the time frames to trade. Um, you know, I like to get up early and trade. Like I said, I hate waking up at 4, 5, 6 in the morning, especially on Monday. I like to take it easy on Monday because just kind of vibe out the weekend, see where we're going, see like how a few of the first fresh plays are running and stuff, and kind of go from there. Um, yeah, Mondays and Fridays, you know, just always analyzing this market, man. It's always a journey, and we'll see what we have. But that week ended well for us, and the
Hmm.
Bears. We had some good momentum. So
I've thought about changing my name to Perma Bear.
did you rip down that bull? There's still a bull behind you, dude. We got to fix that.
I
You're not going
know.
to get funded until you fix that.
No, I gotta change it. That was kind of an expensive piece of canvas. It's a good piece of art right there. But yeah, I need it to be a bear. Yeah, the perma bear. I've thought about changing my name to that because really, I mean, I'm never bullish. I mean, the chat notes the last time I tried to take a long. It's just elevator down. Perfect fall was laughing. I
I
was
think
like,
I
okay,
remember.
I can't like
Yeah, I
every time
remember.
yeah. The button ain't working today. I'm pressing the other one. As soon as I press the long button, elevator down.
Oh my God.
I was like, that is the last time I'm doing that. I'm taking a long, never doing it again. I hate longing. Absolutely hate it with the pure passion.
The inverse Kevin Long.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
hey,
think I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, that's my main piece of advice for anybody that's they're not making it with their evals. Just press the other button. And shorting. I mean, I don't like to tell people how to trade. There's many different ways of making money in trading, but obviously I lean short bias. We do lean the elevator down.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
I'm looking
tower
at
of
the,
terror.
yeah, if we
Yeah,
had
go for
a
it.
Discord. Yeah, we could try that for like the chat for when we're calling out and stuff. Let's see. We're gonna be in the chat. Yeah, the daily stop is nice. I mean, it sucks, but yeah, margin calls can come quick, man. If you don't have the stop set up, it gets ugly. Like there's been some offshore nightmares for me very quickly. So, setting that max stop loss has been it's really key. Just capping your losses, guys. Because it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter how much you make. Take it from me. Like I said, had a crazy run,
Always.
1,000x my account. Right? Or no, not 1,000, 10x, 1,000%, 10x. And then
I mean, you'll have that happen too.
yeah, like you got to protect your loss.
Uh,
Setting that max loss on the day.
yeah,
Protect, yeah,
agreed. That's what
protect
always my question
the
to
gains.
traders. Always my question to traders, and I can smell the BS real quick because I always ask, what? Okay, you're flaunting all of this, all these profits. Let's talk about risk management, but they're risk management averse. They're like, ooh, risk management. No. I don't talk about
Right.
that.
Yeah.
They just don't talk.
We don't
Like,
talk about all the losses, only the wins,
yeah.
right? Yeah,
I
exactly.
I need to know with this strategy what is your risk. Like I need to know that. That's the most important thing for
Mhm.
me as a trader. I want to know what your risk management is on this trade. So yeah, Emmanuel had the
Yeah.
same experience. He was like, I went long this one time and elevator down. She went, yeah, the long, we've experienced for so many years. I think that's when eventually I went short is because all the guru chat rooms, of course, want you to go long because they're all buying these tickers on
Right.
margin. Over $5, they're all going 6x leverage buying before all the sheep do, and then they're selling into their chat room. That's a whole different conversation, whole different night, in fact.
Yeah.
But I had enough of that. So I wanted to less predict the volume. I really didn't want to be a part of these chat rooms anyway. So then I was like, I want to less predict volume and more react to all these sheep buying these tickers and react via shorting. I want to give them the shares. You want to buy at the top? Okay, well, I'll give you some shares. You can
Yeah, the
take my shares.
inverse chat room dump strategy. I love that. We need a spy in there. We got to get James in those chat rooms and start giving us an inside leak each day. Feed
Yeah,
us the alerts. Like when the Warriors are dumping, that's when we're ready to unload, guys.
absolutely. Ready to unload. Yeah, get that shotgun loaded and ready. I mean, because you got the longs. I mean, that's probably the most potent fear. Would you agree? Like the fear of missing out for these long traders.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and it
that's
goes
why you
both
get those
ways
elevator doors.
too. It's both ways because the market is always going. So if you're not there at your computer, it's like naturally I feel like you have that in your back of your mind. And so it's like taming that and shifting your perspective to be like, okay, but I don't have an edge then. I have to reset. Like I can't always be there. Things are gonna happen.
Hmm.
And that's because like we talk about, it's like the elevator down. At lunchtime, I know I should step away, but stocks are still running and up hundreds of percent. It's like, am I leaving money on the table or do I walk away? You know? And it's like that's kind of, you see what I'm saying? That's kind of how we have to look at it. Like knowing when to walk away. And the FOMO is serious. Like It's longs and shorts because it's catching the elevator or catching that next hot runner. Got to tame the FOMO.
Gotta tame it. Gotta tame the FOMO, guys. MG, yesterday, I believe, was my better day of the week. Ended up 500 across both accounts on the day. Keith, greed, I would agree. Greed's the problem I saw in you, too. Yeah, the over trading.
Yeah,
agree with
exactly. Not being comfortable. Like I said, often days, like, even if I wake up super early, I'll be good and green, and then I would give a lot away at the bell chop. Bell manipulation. I'm biased. Oh, this is a scam. It's going lower. And then I get chopped out on some wiki action. And the next thing you know, I gave half my profit back. And now I'm tilted. I'm green, but I'm tilted. So now I'm playing 5-7. I'm betting pre-flop with a 4-6. And it's not even super,
tilted.
you know? Like that can happen. Like that's a thing. Like giving and we need to like acknowledge that too. Like when you're good and green, like you said, like draw another line in the sand. Just like if it doesn't work after 3 tries, you're going to step away. If you get back half your gain, step away. Or if you get back a third of your gain, step away. Like whatever that looks like for you. I think that's another like really good.
We'll be able to help each other out live on that
parameters.
Yeah, because it's seriously, it is a thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
true.
Getting tilted to that degree. We'll be honest with each other as far as that goes, because it's true. I mean, you can even get green and be tilted, missing plays. Because dude, we're at a very similar place on this journey as far as the like where we're at and the emotions and everything. Like,
dude, for sure. Yeah, for sure. That's why it's great, bro. We both have a lot of experience. We have very similar strategies. We have a few guys in chat that are right there with us. You know, we're out here battling, man. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, traders, appreciate you guys all tuning in to this Friday night live stream. Fades has been great.
Appreciate it, guys.
Fades has been great to get to know better, and appreciate you all joining out. Bob's in here again tonight. Bob, you back to trading? 80% win rate. Yeah, Bob was doing very well, and then but again, it was the losers. You know, just couldn't accept the loser. I mean, that's what it boils down to. 80% win rate. That's better than most all of us in here, Bob. So you know that you can do it. It's just eliminating, those big losses. We want to have small.
Getting to that point where it's never like that one day. It was just that one day. Like it can never be that. It can never be that. You'd be like, it was, it wasn't a good day. That's it. It wasn't a good day. It's fine. Never. It was bad. It was terrible. I want to lay in bed all weekend day. Because we've been there and it sucks, man. Don't put yourself in that situation. Take smaller trades than you want.
That's true. It is. I hate that, but that is very true. Take smaller trades than you want. Like that crosses my mind a lot. Like when I see a decent setup, I'm like, I tend to think about what you just said. I'm like, I should probably actually start this with maybe even like 50, 100 shares, like something tiny. Because I could utilize the power of scaling here if FOMO is going to take over and those FOMO traders are going to keep this thing elevated higher than I anticipate. So yeah, I agree. Even thinking about scaling down versus scaling up, not allowing greed to take precedence over risk management. Very important. Very important. There's so much to go over, man.
Yeah, there is, man. We're dialing it in though. We're on it.
Traders, we appreciate you. We went over a lot of good stuff tonight. That's going to wrap up the Friday night live stream with Mr. Fades. Appreciate him coming on. If there's any questions you guys have, go ahead and email us. AveryDayTrading@gmail.com. Let us know. And otherwise, have a great weekend. Let's study up, figure out the things you're doing well, the things you're not doing so well. We all have things we could work on. And starting Monday morning, we will start sharpening that iron, and hopefully Fades will be on here. We'll be battling it out together, finding the tickers, finding the plays for the green team, and starting the week on a green note. So, guys, thank you. Appreciate you all. Love the green team. Take care. Final thoughts, Fades. Over to you. with
It's been a
sports.
pleasure. It's fun hanging out with you guys. Friday night live stream. Monday we'll be here before we know it, guys. Have a good weekend. We'll all catch up soon, and we're gonna get it.
All right,
Tyler?
let's get it, guys.